couldn't.
What kind of music did you like?
What's that old time dance when the slow dancing and all. And we go to that, and I had Grace and I had Troy. And the lady was, my daughter's godmother lived in that house. And Troy come home early. He said, hey, I said, what? Go ask Mama Jackson where she keep Grace and Troy. I said, I ain't gonna do it. I said, last time I asked her, she said, me and you had to get somewhere and sit down. But we had 2 children. I said, he said, go ask Miss D. We had the best children. You can put baby brothers to bed at 7 o'clock, sleep all night till about 5:30. And do you know he is 59 years old? He gonna be in the bed now at 7 o'clock because he gonna be up at 5. And his wife said, ain't that the sleepless man you ever seen? He doesn't like to be bothered. And you can call him after that time, he doesn't want to be bothered. He used to go in that way, and he just kept it up all his life. I got a brother that's 72. And you know what? Sometimes I get interested in them stories, and I want to eat. He doesn't want me to eat right here. All his children and my children had to eat at the table. And everybody knows to go to the table. But sometimes, since I've been by myself 15 years, I come in here, put me a towel in my lap, and just sit and sit. And my brother said, Hazel, come on in here to the table and eat with me. I said, I ain't got time, I got to look at my story. But he don't want you to eat nowhere in the house, at the table.
Why do you think it's important?
I guess the family, my mother always, well, my daddy was a peculiar man. My daddy was. And he thought with 5 children that my mother should have things ready and she should cook because she didn't have to work. He told her, if you're going to have children, you either going to have children or either you get the job and I stay at home. And my mother never worked with none of us. But she had them 4 boys, you know she had them.
So every night y'all had dinner?
We had, when my children lived right, see we lived right to school.
Yeah.
And I finished school, my children finished school, we all was at the same school. So at noontime,
was this at BF4?
Yeah. My mother would cook dinner. And whatever was left from dinner, we'd have dinner at 12 o'clock. You know, when you get out. Well, see, we had an hour out, so they come home and eat. My mother me and her would have dinner done. But in the evening, whatever she was cooking us, whatever we had then, that's what we had for nights. And in the morning, we had a complete breakfast before we went to school. She never did want it. I never do want it. If I got now that my kids are being home, I get up every morning and fix breakfast. And now I just eat a donut, a cup of coffee, and go on by my business.
But when they're here, you eat at the table?
Yeah.
What do you think it is you learn from eating at the table? Like why is that such
it teaches the children how to eat, because you see so many children really don't know how to eat. They just dishing down, you know, they don't. And see, Mama taught us how to. And let me tell you another thing that my kids won't do. They wouldn't. You like the paper towels sitting there on that thing? They wouldn't pull one of them off and bring it to the table for nothing. If I don't, it's gonna be napkin in my house. You see them on table. They won't not eat it. Won't pull off a paper towel and eat it. And just the way my mother brought them up at that time, it wasn't even paper towel. And I wonder sometimes, what did they wipe their hands? Have you thought about that?
Probably, yeah.
Probably that, But my son come yesterday, and I was seeing it doing something to the table, and he looked up on the refrigerator, and he said, ain't no napkin. I said, put them on the table. Ain't gonna eat without napkins. He said paper towels are not to be used, and that's the way he's been trained. And sometimes when I'm real at myself, I'll put the napkins and everything around. But now I learned them to go to the stove and get their food and then sit down. But I used to, when I was young, I could have that ready. But Jeff still wants me to fix his. Only on Sunday. Now he fixes his own dinner on Sunday.
Do you still have a big family meal on Sundays?
Oh yeah. But see, I don't have nobody but him now. And Grace, well, she said she was moving next door, and she wants to stay little, so she don't eat nothing but grapes and orange. She's a fruit eater. But yesterday she had ribs and boiled corn and all that. She ate. But she ain't gonna eat nothing, you know. But I have, see all them coming in here? How many did I have yesterday? 5.
Okay.
Three boys and 2 girls.
Well, now that they're grown up a little bit more, what do you talk about now at the table?
At the table,
Yeah.
we talk about church and talk about going shopping. And my son was big his age. Oh, he loved clothes. Oh, he big too. Oh, I wish you see him. You wouldn't believe that's him on Sunday. Oh, he loved his clothes, his suits, and his ties. My husband would not let him go to church without a tie and stuff on, so he grew up to have his tie and everything on. He takes that after his daddy, because his daddy was a dresser.
Yeah, different colored suits and stuff.
Yeah, he just bought 3. I'm gonna show them to you. He just bought 3, and he said they are spring suits. And yesterday he had on black with a pink and black tie and the little thing, and he had on black. He said, "You know what I need, Mama?" I said, "What?" He said, "I need me some nicer shoes." And I said, "Yes, when you get some money, buy you some nice shoes." I said, "Cause we look at y'all feet." He said, "Ain't nobody look with me." I said, "No, since you leave a wife and 7 months, ain't no woman gonna look at you." Oh, I wish y'all see the prettiest wedding that you ever seen.
And you still lay into him on it?
Huh?
You still lay in on him about leaving?
No, not too. I don't say nothing to him because I saw it at the beginning. It wasn't gonna work. Because when you've been brought up, you know what your mother liked. You know what she don't like. So Jeff knew what I didn't like. And I said to him one day, I said, "Jeff," I said, who washed these clothes? Margaret Allen. I said, my boys only asked me for, they don't ask me, but they told me anything I wanted to buy them, like a present. So twice a year they get underwear. They get 2 sets of underwear with 12 in them. Now it's 14. They get their V-neck shirt. They get them birthdays and Christmas. That's all the time I give them. And I looked at her and said, what's the matter with your underwear? Margaret Allen washed them. And I noticed that when we go shopping, if he didn't have no money, he put the washing powder over in my bag. So he come bringing back all the washing powder and soften. I say, what's that for? I said, I'm not going to pay for nothing for you now. He said, well, Mama, I'll give you the money when I get paid off. I said, okay. So I go ahead and pay for it. But I come in, he said, Margaret Allen washed my clothes, and she washed them in some all colors. I said, well, don't you know how to wash? Yeah, Mama, I know how to wash. I said, but you used to, Mama, wash them and they white as snow, and they folded up, laying, and you put them in your drawer. He said, well, she don't do that. She washed all the clothes together. I said, well, I tell you what, then you buy your own underwear, because I'm not going to buy no underwear with you coming out with that. Oh, I said, suppose you get sick, Jeff. I said,
so you didn't see it going to work after the
But I saw it first.
Yeah.
Me and my oldest son. He said, why don't he wait until Christmas? He said, I got to spend $1,300 to come home. But he came home. He said, he just said, I ain't never been married. Y'all come on home. And I'm going to tell you how crazy I was. I bought a dress. I bought a cake. I bought the little boy's suit. Because she told me that when she was going to pay me. She said she didn't say my son. Because I thought funny. I said, how come the mother-in-law don't buy no dress and she don't buy? And then I got to thinking her mother died when she was 4. She may not have no help, so I just help, you know. So me and him just help. I cooked the turkey. I cooked the ham. I cooked everything. Most of up there, you know, the beans and everything. I had them up there. Had a great big food. I wish you could see. And what upset me so, when the lady come back and asked me, so Miss Leeper said, I come by here to get the money for the cake. I said, what cake? The one, the girl's wedding cake. I said, I ain't got no money to pay for that. I said, they said they didn't have it. Now, I wouldn't have ordered one if Jeff didn't know it. So he come told me. I said, well, Jeff, I gave her the money for the cake, because the woman was nice enough to bake it, because she was giving you to help. That was going to be your prayer to help. But still, the cake cost $100 and something. And I said, this ain't going to work, but I ain't going to say nothing. My son said, let's me and you stay out of it. And I said, yeah, we ain't going to have nothing. So at night, he had the limousine, everything up there. I said, that wedding was too pretty. It was just too pretty. It's about the biggest wedding you've ever seen. My other son had money, and they had big weddings, and they didn't go out like he did. I didn't have to buy no dress either. But she said she's going to pay me. That's what she said.
Yeah.
And so they separated, and Christmas came, and I said, she got 2 children. Jeff had a son when he was in school going to college by a girl. And we always loved that girl. You know how you get just crazy about that boy that he had by that girl. And the boy lived till he got 14, and he died, Jeff's son. And that like killed Jeff. I thought he'd never want that another, you know, because he tells me, Hazel, no longer son. He said, you know my son was be 22 years old when I had a big boy. I said, oh, yes. He loved that boy. And I told him, I said, that girl you got the baby, I told him about her. I said, Jeff, that ain't no girl for you. Jeff, don't be messing around with that girl. Messed around with her and got this son. Then he's in college then. And I said, I didn't never want you to marry her. I said, because you knew I didn't want you to marry her. And I said, I didn't want you to marry her. Because I said, when you get ready to marry somebody, you look around and look in the family of folk. I said, my husband said, if you don't keep your yard clean, you don't keep the house clean. So I told him, well, that's one thing. Now he told the truth, because I don't keep no clean house. But when he was living, that yard was spotless. And Jeff knows I still like it clean. So he bought a blower so he could keep it blowed off.
But it is.
No, it ain't. And my husband been here, you ought to see, you could eat off our door. So he done washed that porch off and everything off today. But Jeff ain't that industrious. Now, he like a clean house. You ought to see his apartment where he done got. So I said I wasn't going to buy him none of this, but I ended up in curtains, bed, sheets, and what else, that coffee table. And I said, where you going to move it back to? And I said, how come you going back in this room? This was his room. I said, I wish I had given him his bed. And he probably wouldn't have thought that was his room no more. He didn't take his bed out because he's big, and I bought that new iron bed. So that's where it goes.
Now, what has been, you said that you take food to a lot of people a lot of times.
Huh?
You take food to people a lot of times.
Oh, yeah.
What has become your specialty?
Let's see, Benny, my best friend has cancer surgery it's been about 2 months now. So we had fried chicken, and we had, what else we had? Jeff cooked the chicken. He said I don't cook fried chicken as good as he can. So we had fried chicken, potato salad, and greens. She loved greens, so I fixed that for her. I fixed enough for her and her son for the Monday. So I took her dinners every Sunday till she got able to cook for herself. And now she's up cooking herself.
What do people ask for you to make on a regular basis?
What I cook?
Yeah.
Let me see.
What do they like for you to make?
My favorite, they say I cook meat better than I do anything. Because I think it's because I love meat. And I can really cook meat. But my favorite, my son is coming like string beans. But I like lima beans, butter beans, squash, and anything in that field, and broccoli, all that kind of stuff. But these young men don't care too much for broccoli. You find Jeff loves it, and he can make the best broccoli. But I love it too, but I don't fool with it too much. I buy the frozen where I can get through with it real quick. But Jeff buys the one that, and he loves, and he can cook it too. Now you talk about a good cook. Jeff is. My oldest son, just since he retired, he just started cooking. But you know what? I can be cooking. And when I'm cooking in there, he'll get up and he'll come in there. He'll look, all right, what did you put in so-and-so? I said, I put so-and-so and so. So he doesn't like to eat onion, but he likes to cook this stuff. But if you don't cook onion and stuff now, you got a bland food that ain't worth a dime. Eating bell pepper, celery, and onion. They in there in that box. I keep them. Now that's something you, and I'm gonna tell you something else. You got to have seasoning in the food. Don't you just buy stuff to throw away. I'm telling you, ain't nothing good.
You sound like you're from Louisiana.
I ain't from Louisiana, but I like seasoning, and I'm gonna show y'all the reason I like seasoning. And I'm gonna let y'all look to see. Before you go, because in my cabin, I want you to see seasoning. I love seasoning. And I think that's what kept me fat until I got sick. Because seasoning is fattening. If you eat bland stuff, you don't need, I don't like, but I eat it. I don't like applesauce, but I eat it. Because it ain't sweet enough. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
And most of the people that liked it, I was wondering, I ain't got none, but I usually keep it.
Now, it seems to be in the South that being a good cook is an honor and there's a pride attached to it.
Yeah.
Would you say that's true for the women that you know?
I believe so.
Okay. Why? Why do you think there is a pride or
because
honor to it?
people's husbands and things eat more. They work harder. To me, I think that was one reason my husband ate, because he was a truck driver and he just ate a lot. And being where you don't have your lunch, just have a sandwich at dinner, it makes you eat more at 5 or 6 o'clock. Have you noticed that? What time do you eat lunch? At 12?
No, I usually eat it later in the afternoon.
You don't eat for one meal?
No. I have an early breakfast and I wait till about 2 o'clock.
And you eat your lunch?
And then I go and it's about 6 or 7.
Well, see, I cook and I have dinner. On Sunday, we have dinner at 1:30. And through the week now, if I'm going out to eat, I'll leave home by 4 o'clock. And here, after I eat my lunch, if I eat today at 12 or 1, I won't eat nothing real, heavy like string beans and squash and all that. I won't eat that today. But to maintain a good, to have a good, I guess it'll be my children so help. Because I had to cook, you know, back in them days you had to cook black-eyed peas. And they teased me, I'm the only somebody that like black-eyed peas with biscuit. I can't eat that pea with that cornbread. And I can't never have I got one cornbread muffin left from yesterday. And I had 12. And then the muffin but one in there. So the club asked me to make cornbread tonight. So I got to make cornbread muffins tonight.
So you think the diet was better back then than it is now? The foods are much better for you?
I think the food back yonder was because people raised their food, don't you think so?
Because it was natural?
Yeah,
natural.
See, at this time, my daddy would have his onion and his English peas and cabbage. They'd be just coming up looking real pretty. And see, the people had meat, wasn't no cured meat back in there. They had just real meat. And I'm not, now my son that lives off, he likes this country ham. But my daughter don't like it. She says she don't like country ham. So she buy the one that's, she doesn't like that. She said it has too much salt in which it do.
Yeah.
I don't eat it because it has too much salt. But my son from up yonder, he loves it. Now we have that about twice when he's here during Christmas.
So,
remember earlier we were talking and you said the first time you took a meal to somebody after they died was when, a friend of yours had a death in the family?
They don't have to be no friend of me, just I know the family, you know, I know something and I be taking to everybody, so I just take something. Sometimes I take a cake, sometimes I take one of those ham. When I see it's a big family, I just take a ham, and God blesses me with so many things, so I don't even know where they come from. I got a girl, she said, I want you to be my godmother. Her mother died. I said, okay, but I was thinking just be close to her, and you know, she just sends me everything. I bet you I don't know how many watches, I don't know how many necklaces, and I won't tell them that can't even wear a necklace. They itches me around my neck. I just can't. So yesterday I was bees still up there. They teased me about trying to dress up. They teased me. They said, you dress this woman in our church. I said, not me. My niece dresses me. I don't buy no clothes. This is what I got on now. She bought it.
So the question I had was, do you feel like that's something that's religion, like Christianity, or was that something you just thought was good?
I just think it's just, I think about when my husband died, how good people were to me. And I think doing something for others is not a payback. It's just that, one kind of deserve another. Because it was so many of us, he was loved by everybody. And you couldn't get in, I doubt you could get that room, the storeroom back over there. The drinks was all, just everything. So many hams, I give some of them away. You know, what we cook. And I just think, well, if folks thought that enough for me, then I would do the same. If somebody, I won't let people be sitting off saying people's songs. I know a lady that died the other day, and she wouldn't have a funeral at church, because none of her church people came to see her. And I thought that was awful. She said she wanted a funeral at the funeral home because nobody, her church folks, didn't come to see her. But that was awful, didn't you think so?
It is awful. Why do you think people take food to families after a funeral?
Because the people don't feel like cooking.
Yeah.
I know I didn't want nothing to eat for I don't know how long after my husband died. You know, just to go in there and eat, sit down and eat. You look like you just take something out of you. And I think, you know, to keep them from being in the kitchen trying to do something, they can be doing something else, you know. So I think that we should take it so they won't have to cook. We had a girl, 43 years old, had an aneurysm and died. It's a big family of children, so I just took ham and stuff for them to make sandwiches out of. You know how children come in the home? Because we are not no sandwich eaters. My folks are not no sandwich eaters. We are eaters.
Do you think Do you think food builds community?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something else it does.
Okay.
It builds the church.
How so?
I tell you what. The reason I pay attention to it when we have dinner up there, you see people that you ain't seen because they don't get the meal and they come in to eat. We talk about that all the time.
Really?
You know, they enjoy, I guess, the fellowship that sometimes people ain't never said nothing to them about coming to church. So maybe somebody will ask them, we're going to have dinner, come to church.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the man that comes and eat with me all the time, he be 76 the last this month. So when I have dinner at church, he says, he's a Methodist. He said, I'm coming to eat dinner with you today because I know you don't care enough up there. I said, yeah, come on. We don't make no difference what you are.
So you have a lot of people come up. What nights do y'all usually have people?
We don't have no, I tell you what, we have a lot of Wednesday night prayer service, but I don't go too much. Since I had that arthritis and stuff, the doctor want me to stay out of the day up at night, and it's right here. And you see everything, you know, when you stay on the street, you see everything. And they want me to, when I come in, if it's 4 or 5, they don't want me to go out no more. So I go a little more in the summer because it's a little lighter. When I get back down here, I can see.
Yeah.
And what you see is people you scared of. And I've never been scared. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I live by myself 15 years. I ain't afraid to leave that door. When that door, I'm not, only reason I shut that door, I be taking a bath. You know, lock it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, to sit up in here, oh no, I'm not afraid because I don't do nothing to nobody, but that ain't the person that get nothing done to them. But I just ain't afraid.
Do you still walk up to church or do you drive up to church?
No, I walk.
You walk up there?
Right.
It's only about 60 feet or so.
Yeah, me and my son walks every Sunday. We walk on prayer midnight. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I walk. I can walk all around in Walmart store. Yeah.
Huh.
I haven't lost I lost this weight because I got sick. But before then, shoot, that wasn't enough for me to go out to go stay all day and eat.
Yeah. Well, what do you think it is about food that brings people together?
Because a lot of people don't cook.
Huh.
There's a lot of children don't know what food is. One right across there got 2 little boys and a daughter with a baby. She you know what she cook? Go order pizza. That ain't nothing for a growing child. Pizza. I have lettuce, slaw, cucumbers, everything that a body needs. I have it in my box. Because you can't, in my age, I used to buy that 2% milk. I don't buy that anymore. At my age, I don't need nothing that, you know, because I need all I can get to keep me going, you know.
Yeah.
When I got sick, see, I couldn't eat. And I weighed 184 or 85. I'm down to 166. That's just because I wasn't eating. And I'm going to tell you what's the best food that you can eat.
What's that?
That's mashed potatoes.
What are
The red potatoes.
red potatoes?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. Now, I don't, my son loves them fried, but I like them stewed like the old people. And my son want me to have stewed potatoes, cabbage, fried okra, and cornbread, and some kind of meat. Now, we meat eaters. I'm going to make a meatloaf. That's something I haven't made in a long time, but I love them. I used to make the best one. I don't know how I'm going to do with this one.
So does that get a lot of numbers to church when you have those kind of meals and
Ooh,
things?
yes. Ooh, it'd be a lot. We had a lot yesterday, but it wasn't meal time. It just a service. But we have a big crowd. But when we have that dinner, oh.
Now I heard about something, and I've been asking around New Albany, see if anybody does anything like this. I heard something about it in Pontotoc, that there were churches that a white church and a black church, that on their 5th Sundays they do a luncheon or something, and you know the white church would go to the black church, and then the next time the black church would go to the white church. Do you know
We had
anything?
the Word Day of Prayer at our church.
Yeah, what is that?
That's where the churches come together and they have a little eating thing there. They have a little service, and the mostly, you know who would mostly come? Is Catholics.
Really?
Then we go down to their church, and they have when they have, because you know the Catholics serve after every meal.
Right.
So they come to our church and we go to theirs, and one of the churches right out here in Hillcrest. Our pastor preached out there.
Yeah.
So
these all black churches, or are they also white?
No, they all white out there.
Okay.
And we have a white couple up here that's married, and we have a white guy that's married to a black girl up here, and we got a girl that's married to a white guy. We have 2 or 3 at our church, Yeah. And she said, the girl's sweet as she can be, and he's the sweetest man you've ever seen, but she don't want to bring him. And everybody just eats him up when he comes to church because he's sweet as he can be. And I think that's just lazy on her part, Sometimes women don't want to, they just don't get up.
Yeah.
And they don't come to church. The youngsters don't go to church much. Do y'all go every Sunday?
I do.
I don't. I used to. When I was back home, I did. I went every Sunday. But since I've been at school, I don't go every Sunday.
So you done got away from home.
I do have to say, I have a wife that helps me get up and do it every Sunday.
Yeah.
So she helps me and I help her.
That's the way my son do. Now on Saturday, I don't have nothing to cook much on Sunday because I don't go to town unless it is something I done forgot. And usually time, I have my dinner almost done but putting my cornbread on. So that makes me don't have much to do with fix their breakfast. But I maintain it. I say all the time, I tell my son, that if he give God some of his time, then he don't have to worry about whatever happens because God has everything. He got kind of disgusted one time. I told him, I said, one thing, you have quit going to church, and God just don't let you give every day to your work and then don't give him night time. So he started back and they never quit going. And I tell you, he dressed the big old something you ever seen.
You feel good after you left church?
Huh?
You feel good after you leave church?
Yeah. I have something to feed on because our pastor's preaching on Job. You know how Job sucked. So every night before I go to bed, I read, while we're on that, I read the scripture. But I have that I don't remember nothing like I used to. I just don't. I used to remember everything that I read. I could tell you tonight what I read about Job. But now, since I hear preaching, it all comes back to me. But I read.
Yeah.
And Jeff reads too. He reads long. I said, did you read last night? No, Mama. I said, remember to read something. Because while he's preaching and telling, then you read so you'll know that he preached the right thing. Then you know.
You got to learn for yourself.
Yeah. And a lot of people preach on that tithing. Give a tenth. But we had a preacher here yesterday that came. I had an extra yesterday.
Yeah.
And he doesn't believe in tithing. He said, a tenth of it. He said, whatever you give it freely. If it ain't but a dime, if you give it from your heart, then that's all God requires. He doesn't require. So you don't have a tenth, what you going to pay? You ain't made nothing, what you going to pay?
Right.
He said, whatever you give it freely from your heart, and not grudgery, but for necessity. And I kind of believe that too.
You consider what you've done with food and working with the church and preparing food on Wednesday nights a ministry?
No.
Why not?
I think giving my money and the uplift of the church to pay the pastor and pay the light bill and thing, I think I should pay. Because God has blessed me with it. And if he tell me I can pay $100 a month in church, I'm going to pay that. But if I see I can't, I'm not going to pay because I know I can't let my light bill go, which was like $15 being $400 last month. I can't let that go to pay a man that's 25 years old preaching. Do you think that's right? No, well, see, God don't intend for you to do that.
Yeah. But the work you do with food, though.
Yeah. I count that as a blessing.
You just count that as a blessing and not something that you're doing for the church.
No, I just count that as a blessing.
Huh.
Since you have the power to do that, you should for other people.
As long as I'm able and I can do, I'll do.
Huh.
If I get where I can't use my hands, okay. See, they're getting that away. But I said, as long as he give me strength, I'm going to do what I can.
Huh.
And when I get where I can't, I'll have somebody else. My son don't let me do too much with him because he wants me to not do too much work with my hand. He says, strange, it's on relay. Stay like that and get like that. But my daughter said arthritis is nothing but poor circulation, and you ain't got no feeling in that one like you got in these others. And so I'm gonna do it as long as I can.
I had a question about the kitchen, actually. My grandmother, my mom, my girlfriend, I mean, you know, her mom, they all have, like, cookbooks, just tons of them. Did you guys pass down recipes, like, through just memory, or did you...
Yeah, I got a book. Well, let me tell you, at this age, sometimes I have to go back to the book. I have to go back to the book and see what I'm missing out, because I get up and go in there and cook, and I don't even think all I know I can fix it what I want. But sometimes I get to think, I said, let me go get my book, because I don't believe I can I ain't got so and so. So I go back and get my book. I use my book. And then sometimes I can't think what I'm going to have for dinner. I got one book, I don't know where it is now, that I go see what they had for dinner. Did they have, what meat did they serve, and what vegetable. I have to go to that book and then go back in there and go to cooking. Because I done forgot everything I used to cook, but I done forgot what to put in, but sometimes it be something else. Now I can cook spaghetti. They tease me about cooking that. My daughter asked me this morning when she's out here, are you going to cook spaghetti Saturday? I said, oh yes, I might.